Well, guys, welcome to Thrive in 2025. We are on a whole health journey with Zelise, and you guys really deserve a lot of praise for how you finished 2024, how you're starting 2025. And I was writing just kind of a little summary, and this is kind of what I thought is what we're doing this year is we're asking people to join a growing collection of whole health pioneers, which you guys are, working to make the world a healthier place, one life at a time. And that's what's exciting to me about whole health, the whole health journey, and all of us collectively inviting other people to join us on that. Dr. Steve and Jenny and I had this long conversation about whole health today, whole sleep. So it's part of really all that we do. I believe it's really been part of our Zelise journey for quite a while. It's just it hasn't been messaged that way. And so, just a little recap in 2024, we joined forces to purchase each of us a case of mini vibes, the 7 mil vibes, bought them for about $37 with shipping and tax. And we're now seeding 12 whole health experiences for $59 each. And that's about $22 of profit in retail in 2025. And so, just kind of a little recap, who remembers why we chose Vibe for this?
It's a whole health. Sorry.
Okay. I was gonna say
Yes,
it's got the CBD, CBG, and CBC, all three combo, all in it.
absolutely. So it is our premier whole health supplement, joining body, both endocannabinoid receptors, mind, and spirit. And so we are now going to be able to really share this journey with at least 12 people. And so the question that we have on the table is, now you've got 12. Mine haven't gotten here yet. They're probably somewhere in ice and snow, but they're arriving soon. Do you have yours, Lorena? Let me see it. Do you have one in your hand?
Let me
She's
go
going to go
get
get
it.
Okay, she's going to go get it. But the question is, once you have your case of mini vibes, then what? Who knows what do we do with that?
Well, you always have them on you. You don't let them stay at home in your purse.
Amen, sister. Okay, so you always have them on you. Anybody else have some thoughts about what to do with these little 7 mil vibes?
You listen to people, and when they've got a need, you tell them you've got something that might help.
There you go. So kind of the 3-foot rule, you really listen and pay attention. Bo really teaches on that quite a bit, as to really listening when people are giving you clues as to where their pain points are, that you always have that vibe with you. Good, Judy. Anything else? Any other thoughts about what you guys are looking forward to doing, how to actually start distributing these little vibes?
Well, if you can enroll them for the $99 even version like that, then you've got product to give them immediately so that they don't. So, sometimes by the time they get their product, they're like, now what am I doing with this? Whereas if you can get them started right then, it's usually a little bit more positive.
Absolutely. So, excellent point. So, if you actually use the $99 wholesale enrollment for someone, then you've got your case right there that you can front somebody to, of the 7 mil vibes, so that they don't have to wait for theirs. Very, very good point. Anything else? What if you were starting from scratch? And what if, you hadn't been in the business for a month or years, and you were really just kind of starting to open your store, if you will, or to kind of start the project? Any thoughts or ideas on how you would do that? Because there's a lot of you guys that are going to be starting a team of people. And we want to be able to help guide them on how do you start with the mini vibes. And so one of the things that I did was just kind of write out a little script that I wanted to share with you guys, because I'm kind of envisioning it's 2025. I feel like a whole new person because I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I'm like, I cannot tell you how excited I might just stay up, late tonight. And it's been just an amazing weekend thinking, oh my gosh, like I have freedom. And so I've told you guys, I am so motivated to be able to share with people that not only is this little vibe potentially part of your whole health journey, but it can really help you in ways that you don't anticipate. And so here's what my thought was, and this is just one of the things that I had to overcome in my journey with this industry, and I mean the direct selling industry. Former nurse, like former ICU nurse, and my patients came to me, so I never had to go build a business. I never had to reach out and call somebody and ask them to listen to me. And that's really what I believe in, is I think it's very important to find your voice in this business. In my opinion, is that is best done on the phone. And so if you could text somebody and just say, hey, when do you have 5 minutes for a phone call? We call that clearing the time. You could do that, on the phone, but I think sometimes texting is a little bit easier to kind of clear the time and find a time where somebody has 5 minutes to have a conversation with you. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm working on a whole health project and I'm connecting with the people I care about. I'm checking in on 3 main areas. Number 1, how do you feel? Your energy and your ability to move and sleep. Whether you have enough time for all you want to do, or whether you have a way to get a return on your health dollars. Is there room for improvement in any of these areas? If so, I'd love to invite you to X. And then we could sit down and let me run some information by you, as Bo talks about. Or B, I'd love to invite you to our house. We're actually having a very short, fun meeting Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. Come have some munchies. I'd love to run some information by you. If you're interested, great. If not, no big deal. Or a brief Zoom overview. Or what else? Anything else? Can you guys think of a way that you could invite somebody to take a look at the information?
Videos.
Videos, yeah. Let me send you a short video. Good. Anything else?
Coffee, that's always a good one. Just meet for coffee.
Meet for coffee. Great.
Oh.
Let's meet for coffee.
Use your tap card and we can talk about it.
Oh, who said that? Was that Rhonda?
Yes.
Rhonda, I like that. Have you used your tap card?
Just once.
Just once. That's all it
But I have
takes.
to-
Does everyone know what a tap card is?
Mhm.
Jean, yeah. So most of us have these little, like a credit card, and you can tap someone's phone and leave information, leave your contact information, and have them share their contact information with you, sending it in an email. So that's an excellent way to capture information. Anything else? I think the key here is the vibe can start a conversation, but really the conversation starts before the vibe, if that makes sense. The conversation is something that we initiate when we're new in this business. It might be the scariest thing that you have ever done. It was for me. I felt like the first time that I made one of those calls that I literally was holding on to an electric fence, and it was shocking me the whole time. And it was very, very uncomfortable. But over time, I found that the simpler thing was easier for me to get out. So something like this that had kind of a couple of sentences I might not have started with. And I found one sentence that I finally could say from memory. And it was, if there was a significant amount of money on the table, do you ever keep your eyes open for projects outside of education or IT or nursing or dentistry? Or Jean, what profession are you in?
Excuse me, I make medical instruments.
Okay, so outside of making medical instruments. And so it gives, I think, respect to what somebody's currently doing, but asks them if they ever keep their eyes open. And so one of the things, one of my goals for this year is, because I'm super comfortable talking about health and product results, I'm really shifting more toward the project that we're working on, the whole health project, and looking for people who are more business minded, that we can ultimately default down to products, but that to me, it's a that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for business leaders. And so my goal is, when I get my case, that I'm going to try to get rid of these in 1 or 2 months, that I literally am, that is my goal. And then I'm going to be able to keep results on everybody that I actually, that buys one. And I'm going to try to keep track of what happens with those 12 seeds. Will half of them get on Autoship? Like, what's the percentage? And I think we learn a lot. Just, how many people do I need to talk to find 12 people to buy my vibe? Let's say we have to talk to 24 people to find 12 that will want to buy. That's a really, really very, very good closing ratio. And so when we keep track of those kind of things, it becomes a little bit more scientific, because everyone has a certain closing ratio. That means I might have to talk to 100 people, find 10 that are willing to sit down with me. So I would have a 10% closing ratio. And over time, as we get stronger and more confident and better belief and, more discipline to say less and ask more questions, then that ratio can grow. But the 12 seeds are really important. Number one, it demonstrated your belief. And number two, it gives us a product with a price point that really everybody can buy. So to hear from you, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
how confident are you guys in the ability to create a conversation on your end
Not real.
through text or phone?
Not real.
No, that's the hardest part, isn't it?
It is.
Sometimes it's easier to buy products all day long than it is to make one phone call. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Judy agrees with me.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to respond to emergencies. They say to remember to have a visible house.
So I'm not sure. That's Samsung.
As quickly as possible.
Let's see here. Anybody else want to share a thought on that?
Lisa, I think it's a great idea, and I appreciate that you've given us a game plan, some verbiage, taking notes, just do it. I mean, and you've laid it out. You told us what we can say, and a great plan. Take those 12 vibes and just read from your notes here. Just do it. The first time might not go well, but the second time will be better. The third time will be better. You just get better at it. So you just do it.
Hey, and I want to ask your husband to weigh in. If is he around?
No, he said, no.
He and my husband are probably hanging out somewhere.
No, he's at home. He asked me, how do I log in? So,
Hey,
okay.
I'm on.
Oh,
He did do it. Okay.
hey,
Okay.
Stephen Hodge, we were bashing you, but we didn't mean it. But hey, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Okay, just in light of what we talked about today, when we talk about whole health, there's an aspect of mindset that is
Mhm.
required in order for us to do things that scare us.
That's right. Yeah.
Can you
Absolutely.
comment on that at all?
Well, I mean, I think we discussed self-talk
Yes.
and part of that that's so important. So yeah, nothing is probably more important than we do in this business than our self-talk, right? How we talk to ourselves. So there's a whole there's a guy named Dr. Shad Helmstetter, and he is the world leading author and writer on self-talk. And I have subscribed to his books and clubs and all that for a long time. So anyway, it's a good thing, and hopefully everybody listening will just Google him. He's in that world, he's very famous. And he wrote the first book on self-talk in I don't know, a long time ago. And he's the original author about it. It's quite unbelievable how to change your life. So if anybody's interested in it, just Google him, and you'll find out it's a really, really a good thing.
Well, Steve, I'm going to ask Jenny to add on our Team Unlimited page the small book that's a 60-minute read, because one of the things we want to talk about coming up soon is the self-talk required in order to do things that we like. All of us agreed on the last call that we want like 100 customers, we want 100 business people. I mean, we know that that is our desire. We want to impact the world for good. But when it comes right down to picking up the phone and contacting our list, we have all sorts of junk that comes up into our head. And so I really want us to have a tool like that, like Shad and the
Yeah.
self-talk book.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And he has some, you don't have to read it. They're not hard to read. And he has like little 60-minute books that are very, very simple reads and very powerful. And then he's on, Dr. Shad's on, not YouTube, but he's on YouTube also, but he's the book clubs, you know what I mean? All the Kindles and all that. It's everything. It's probably, the single best self-improvement, I guess you could say, if you want to put it in that category, that you could probably do for yourself or for anybody really, for that reason. So anyway, I'm one of his followers. So
well, you're more than that, Steve. You're actually certified to teach his course, and so we're really honored to have you and Jenny on our team and our lives. And I'm looking forward to hearing more. And if Jenny, your COO, would post the same picture that she sent me, it would give all of us an opportunity to start the year with the right kind of self-talk.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly right. I'll she'll do that part. I'll be happy to sort of connect the dots with this. It's truly he's truly a phenomenal author, but he's under the radar. You know what I mean? He's not the we talked about Bob Proctor, one a little bit, and just different superstar what do you call it? Self-improvement guys. He's not that radar. He's their radar. They came to him.
Wow.
For their
That's
talk,
impressive.
for their for a lot of stuff. So he was always under the radar, not on the radar, and his work goes back to, gosh, in the probably early 60s, something like that. So he's anyway, it's really fun if you not it'll stomp on you because it's your old self-talk, right? So yeah, it'll beat you up here and there. You don't, but it's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
And you and Jenny both. We're looking forward to hopefully soon, if not January, February, to have you kind of talk a little bit more about one of the most important parts of whole health, which is our mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we talked about that. So be happy to, Lisa.
Thank you so much. We're glad to know you are on, even though you were lurking.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. So let me ask you guys, has anybody else?
Lisa,
Yes.
as we speak, I
Yes.
just got a text to say somebody wants to buy some oil, CBD oil from me. I'm sorry. As we're
No,
talking,
tell us about that. Who texted you?
this is Dixie. She's from the Bunny House, and she wants CBG from us. I think if I'm not mistaken, I need to give her a call, but she has a bunny that has GI gut stasis a lot, or she has some kind of gut thing going on. So she wants the CBG. I didn't know it, and so I actually, because I wanted somebody into the bunny house to get it, and she is actually a foster. So I gave her a mini CBG, and she evidently used it. This is just what I just found thing as we're talking. It's like, okay, wait a second. But she said I want to buy some CBG from you, if I have any available. So
That's a
weird.
wonderful text to get.
So
Yeah.
it is. So yeah, now I've got to say, hey, I'll be at the bunny house when I'll be at the bunny house. So all right, I'm sorry.
No,
But
it's
it was
it's
good,
really it's
you know,
great conversation because
out of the blue.
what I have found, and Lorena, maybe you guys, you've been in the business how many years?
7.5,
About seven,
7.5, almost
So
8.
you guys have been not only working in the business but working on yourselves for that amount of time and more. And
Yeah.
I believe that once you start sharing with the phone calls, once you start doing things that scare you with the right mindset, then maybe people don't immediately embrace that, but then they'll text you later and go, hey, I need some of that CBG. And so the longer that I have been with my right mindset in the business space, the stronger I get, the more power I have, not just for my own business, but to actually duplicate and share it with other people, which is perhaps even more joy than even experience our own success. Right, Susan Everett?
I have a question.
Yes.
Would CBG be helpful for UTI? A friend of mine has a UTI, so I was wondering about that.
Okay, so let's kind of unpack that. A UTI, meaning a urinary tract infection, infection of the bladder. Does anyone have a thought on that? Have you seen any kind of results with urinary tract infections?
Yeah. You know what? I used to get UTIs long time ago, and I have not had one since, no, since I started taking Zalease products.
Yeah, about
And they used to
seven
put,
7.5 years ago.
8 years ago. Well, I used to be hospitalized. If I got a UTI,
Mm.
I couldn't be at home because I couldn't sit up on my
Yeah.
own.
With having the MS, it just really affected her.
Yeah, it was
different.
it was actually, now I can, I used to say we moms wobble, but we don't fall down, until I got a UTI. And then I would have to have pillows to prop me up a few
Wow.
times, so yeah.
And
So
that's a great testimonial, Lorena. Like I didn't really, like myself, it has not been an issue for me. But what makes sense to me, not just with CBG, but really with any of the cannabinoids from the hemp plant that are water soluble that your body can absorb, it's bacterial, it kills MRSA. It makes sense to me that if you are systemically using this in your body on a consistent basis, that it would make you resist all sorts of infections, not just bladder.
Right.
I agree.
But wouldn't you want to go with like Vibe? Because Vibe
Well,
seems to have everything in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably start somebody with Vibe,
Okay.
Rhonda, just because also what I've seen is it's actually, it seems more concentrated. So only 2 to 3 drops, like twice a day, can be a very effective dose. So over time, I think that saves volume and saves money.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And we can use our little 7 mil Vibe starter.
Yeah. So, and she's already got them, so that's good.
Yeah, we got it. So good question. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any other thoughts or questions just on the topics that we've discussed so far?
I have a question.
Yes,
So
Susan?
when you were initially talking about, you said that you were charging $59 for the 7 ml Vibe. So are you approaching people to try to sell them too? Or is that only if they're thinking about signing up, or just at least get them one to get them started? Kind of what's your approach?
That's a really, really good question. And if somebody's willing to actually have a conversation with me, and perhaps I could bring them to my Tuesday night meeting and they could meet Carlita and Linda Painter and some of the people who really believe, then it's going to depend on them. If they have a very limited vision and they believe they have a limited budget, then it might be our very best and highest would be to just sell them one small bottle. But if they catch the vision, and maybe they have a spouse or somebody that lives with them, then it might be that they're willing to start with a bronze 30 mil with a topical instead of the 7 mil. So a lot of that is going to, and do you know what I mean, Susan? Like the bronze kit has the 30 mil vibe and a topical.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I would probably, especially if somebody was having discomfort in some way, I would probably, see if that's a better source for them, and especially if they have a spouse that could use it or a child that could use it. It's more of a family pack, if you will, than just a 7 mil for just them, if that makes sense. So we've done all of the above. There are times that I'll start somebody with the two 7 mils in a wholesale kit, because that's really all that we've talked about, and that they have a little bit more limited belief and vision and budget. But ideally we want to do obviously what's best for the person. So, and that's really where honestly, like I want to shout out to Carlita, because Carlita, would you tell everyone about the three-way we did the other night?
Yes. I have a friend. She's been a friend for, gosh, probably 15 years. I worked with her at the trauma center in Little Rock. She used to be a paramedic, but she's had for the last 10 years, I mean, we've always stayed in touch, but she has just had the most horrible things happen in her life. Her health started getting bad when we worked together, and she ended up having to quit her job with a very labile blood pressure, really high, really low, till they finally kind of figured out what was going on. She's very close to her family, and she's had some serious illnesses, and the death of her grandpa, who I think was really like her dad, just about destroyed her. But in the last few years, she's really had trouble sleeping, has trouble shutting her brain off, just will sleep maybe 2-3 hours a night. And I ended up having about a 2-hour phone conversation with her a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey, we need to start you on some Dream and some R&R. Let me send you some samples." I had gone on Amazon and purchased some of Jenny Todd's cute little bottles, and so I filled her up. I think I sent her like 4, enough to get her, a few nights of Dream and Vibe. And I'm like, try it for 3 nights in a row, because I mean, she has even been like addicted to Ambien, so much that it doesn't even work for her. It was just horrible, and I just want to help her so bad. But I sent her those, and I got her to try them. And after that 3rd night, I got up the next day and I had a message from her of, okay, where do I go to buy gallon bottles of this? So it didn't completely solve her problem, but she rested so much better with the Dream and R&R. And so I hooked her up that evening when I got off work. She and Lisa and I had a call, and we got her enrolled as a wholesale customer. And she's also going to try the Vibe. I had in stock the R&R, the Dream, and the Vibe, and so I mailed all of those to her immediately the next day. And then I'm just going to get my stock reimbursed. But I'm anxious for her to try the Vibe as well, on top of what we're already trying, because her poor body is just so out of whack. I just think she needs to get everything back into a healthful state, and doctors just want to throw pills at her, and that's not going to help her at this point.
Well, great job, Carlita, being able to kind of navigate the three-way, and her story definitely made an impact on me. And it's not every day you hear somebody with an Ambien story like that. I'm sure Dr. Todd hears a lot of them, but just the ability to be of service and the ability to do a three-way phone call so that Carlita and I together could come up with our best guess as to what to start her with, and then respecting her budget we backed off a little bit with some of it just because she spent a lot of money on other stuff. So I would highly recommend that, just the question you brought up, Susan. That's why I love to work in teams, is so that if you have any question about what's the best way, text me and let's talk to your person on the phone. Three-way phone calls are one of the number one ways to build this business. And so I'm here for you guys to do that. Good job on that, Carlita. I have one more question for you guys. So let's say we've got our little 7 mils and somebody maybe had a positive experience. How do you get someone on Autoship?
Heck if I know. I mess it up so bad I have to call you to get it fixed every time.
Carlita. Debbie Ray, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I just usually tell people they need to at least do something for 3 months and not miss any doses, start low and build up if you need to. But consistency is what I really target them to think, that if you're bad about remembering, put it in your phone. Take it every morning or twice a day, or if you're sleepy during the day with it, take it at night. But it's more like I push consistency. You have to be consistent for at least 3 months and then tell me it doesn't work. Or we'll add something to it. If they need more sleep, we could add the dream to it. Depends on their budget, of course.
Excellent. So you kind of tell them up front that they're going to need at least 3 months.
Yes. I say, and consistency, you have to be, because I've had people start and it's like, well, I don't feel it's working. I said, well, you take it every day, like I told you. Well, sometimes I forget. And I said, well, you brush your teeth twice a day. Put it by your toothbrush or put a reminder in your phone, but don't tell me it doesn't work if you can't be consistent. I said, because you have to fill those receptors. And I tell people, it's like, you don't know which one it's going to hit first. As we've talked about silent receptors, we don't know what it's going to hit first. It might be something you want for pain, but it might not fulfill that receptor first. It might be doing something else that needs more important that you may not feel. But I just press more on consistency because I've had so many people drop out because they don't give it a chance.
Yeah.
Uh,
Susan, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, in your scenario with your question, you said the person had a good experience. So from there, it becomes easy as long as you've not, sometimes it's so hard to make yourself charge them the retail price for the first bottle because you're wanting to get it in their hands so bad that you give it to them at a price break and then you don't have a weapon to use. So if you've charged them retail and they've had a good experience, then it's easy because then you can offer them a wholesale price, so they're saving money on it. And you can talk to them about star points, which helps them save even more money. So then they're getting a good deal. The hard part is making yourself charge retail for that first bottle.
Good point. Judy, are you laughing for a reason?
No,
Well, that's a very good point, Susan.
Yes, it is.
Who knows what the highest price point of any product in our line is retail?
Isn't it 149 for the, isn't it 149 for the big vibe?
What is it?
It's $219, I think.
Yeah, it's like $209.99 retail for Vibe, 30 mil, right?
Yeah.
And so the deal is, I believe, to tell people, hey, I'm giving you a 7 mil for $59 because this is an amazing product. It's the latest, it's the greatest, it's, the latest technology. It's, all the things that we've talked about, but it's $209 retail. I can sell you this 7 mil starter for $59. And what's better is to keep you on it in month 2, instead of giving you the wholesale price of $159.99 plus shipping and tax. We're going to give you $30 off that as a one-time complimentary discount. And then we're going to give you free shipping for life on that $129.99 for Vibe. And so people, I've not had anybody that says no on that. And so we've been able to set up auto ships for the 30 mil vibe because of that. Once in a life of a new ambassador, they can get that $30 off the wholesale price, knowing that 209 is really the retail price. Aren't you guys excited now that you're using Vibe for such a great discount?
Yes, but isn't that the one that we've talked about a lot? That's the larger size. And that we
That's 30
have a
mil.
problem if there's only one user in the household. I mean, Judy and I've talked about that a lot lately. If there's, because she's got a customer that has stopped her auto ship because she got so far ahead. And I've had a customer who's done the same thing. Because if it's an individual using it, they will not use a whole bottle. Come, we're telling them to use two or three drops, at most, and so they end up with a whole, medicine cabinet full of these expensive bottles. And so they stop their auto ship. And then you're just trying to hope that they get back on auto ship later. So really for auto ship, I was trying to do the approach of the two smaller ones for, unless I know that it's a couple and they're both going to use it.
Yeah. That's a great point, Susan. So if somebody feels like they're going to get overstocked, Susan's point is get them on 2 of the 7 mil vibes, which is 40 BV, I believe. So it's 20 BV each. And I think $49 to buy from the company. So I think I have to look at that. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely a better price point if they're getting overstocked to use just 2 of the 7 mil vibes. It's almost like they'd almost need 2.5. But that's we're all learning on this, and that's why we have these calls and these conversations, is because there's not really just one right answer. It's really a process of learning and having those conversations. And we talk about this a lot. How many touches do we really need to have with someone before they make a decision sometimes? Who knows?
7, 8, 9.
Yeah, like 5 to 12. So it could be anywhere. Yeah, so all of that to say, great conversations. But January 18th, we have a tool that the company is providing on Zoom that several people are going to be offering their homes to do a live event as we Zoom the Zalease event. Susan, ever, I want to let you give you the floor and talk about what you're doing to host in Evansville.
Well, the first thing I'm doing is hiring a lawyer because you stole the picture that's a personal picture of the view out of my house that I used gave to Brandy to use for our post. So the fact that you've done that, I'm contacting a lawyer and I'm going to have a lawsuit about you doing that.
We did a cheap copy.
Cheap. Hey, no, we're just, I just thought it'd be a great fun thing to do, assuming we don't have weather like today, just to get, I don't care if it's 3 people or, 20 people just here in the house, just to, I have a room for that downstairs, and we can just watch it together, and then we can talk about what was great and what was maybe not so great or what we didn't understand, kind of like what we do in these meetings. I just thought it'd be a lot of fun. And so I've already had some people say that they're coming. And so I've already got Judy to commit to making some bread for us. So I figured they'll come for that, if nothing else. So there you go.
Wow, man, that's the low blow. Thanks, Judy.
All right. Anytime.
It's definitely fun to do this together. Linda Painter I don't know if she's on this call, but she's going to be hosting in Northwest Arkansas. And so I wanted to hear from those of you guys who are not in those markets. What are y'all doing on the 18th? Anybody else having a watch party? So this is how we start, is we just start with our own watch party in our house. And then when you get one customer, you invite your customer over. And what really might feel super casual is really the way that we started this in Evansville 8 years ago. I started in my condo. I just invited some people over, and that's how all of this whole team got started. And so don't underestimate the casual coming together to, even if you don't have something as good as Judy's bread, that you can pop some popcorn, have some snacks, like we're going to have our little artichoke dip that we do often, some brownies, like just fun food. But I will tell you, I've done a lot of these, not always with the company, when supplying the content, but every single time we get people together, somebody benefits from it. And it is an unintended consequence. I might like have my list and really feel like I'm planning to, try to call all these people, and at the last minute, somebody that I really was hoping would come doesn't come, and it's just unintended consequences. But when you are spending energy, positive energy in your business, something good will happen. And so I just want to encourage everybody to either, if you're in Evansville area, get to Susan's house. If you're in Northwest Arkansas, come to Linda Painter's house. We borrowed Susan's invite. So we were hoping to have as good a result.
Hey, I don't know, Linda is on, but I don't think she can comment because she's been doing comments. She must not be able to talk or something. So Linda's coming, Judy's coming, obviously, Megan's coming, and Karen Hale, who was on here, I don't think she is now. But anyway, she's coming. And there's been a couple of other people that I'm going blank on right now. So it looks like we're going to have a pretty decent crowd too. So that's awesome.
It's tons of fun. It really is. I mean, in this business, we choose people that we really do enjoy. And you can always say no to people that you don't enjoy, that you don't want in your space. It's something worthy of protecting. So anyway, I'm excited, you guys. I'm excited about 25. We still don't know the best of what's to come. We do know that the compensation plan is going to be amazing. We're going to have an advisory council meeting in February where we're actually going to Dallas to do some work with the team. So you're going to hear a lot more. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for you guys. I want to also just give gratitude that you guys followed us in our recommendation. All of us got that, Vibe 12 minis, and we're pioneering whole health with it this year. So much love and gratitude to you guys. And I'm gonna just stop the recording and give you guys a chance if you have comments or questions. Hold on one moment.